Every new cluster starts the same way. We'll just copy the config from the last one and tweak it. 6 months later, you're staring at a Frankenstein's monster of YAML files, wondering how a simple container platform became your team's biggest source of technical debt. The organization successfully scaling AWS EKS across dozens of hundreds of clusters follows 6 non-negotiable patterns. These aren't theoretical best practices, they're survival tactics learned from the teams who've been through the fire and live to tell about it. Let's dive into the playbook. Standardization through infrastructure as code and GitOps is the first important step in managing your EKS clusters efficiently. You should admit that snowflakes are the enemy and declare every single cluster with infrastructure as code tools like Terraform, Pulumi, or CloudFormation. You should just pick your poison and make it law. This lets you deploy consistent Kubernetes clusters rather than snowflakes, and then manage all the applications and configurations you have for Kubernetes on those clusters using GitOps. Push every desired state into Git, yes, even the CRDs and the add-ons, and use a tool like Argo CD or Flux to implement a deployment mechanism and use Git as a single source of truth. Need to update an application across the fleet? Merge a PR and let declarative pipelines do the work. Stop running one-off commands, let the robots reconcile drift while you're at lunch. Scaling should be done smartly and costs should be kept in check. If you're still using cluster autoscaler, you're essentially overpaying for a slower experience. Karpenter is like upgrading from a flip phone to a smartphone. It intelligently matches workloads to the perfect instance type, grabs spot pricing when it is available, and scales in seconds instead of minutes. Same workloads, way less money. The next important thing to do is to enforce rules with policy as code. You cannot review every line of YAML yourself, and this is where policy as code comes in, acting like a bouncer for a Kubernetes API server. You can use tools like OPA Gatekeeper and Kyverno that let you write rules that automatically block non-compliant resources before they are created. With Kyverno, you write policies directly in familiar YAML, while OPA Gatekeeper uses a more powerful but complex language called Rego. Want to block containers from running as root or require specific resource labels? Codify it, enforce it, and prevent problems from ever happening. Implementing security at scale can be done with granular permissions and security vulnerability scanning. Stop giving nodes broad permissions and hoping for the best. IAM roles for service accounts, or IRSA, is the native EKS way to grant pods fine-grained AWS permissions. It works by associating a Kubernetes service account with an AWS IAM role, allowing pods to securely access other AWS services without you having to manage credentials. You should also implement security vulnerability scanning. An open source tool like Trivy can be integrated directly into your CI/CD pipeline and even inside your running cluster to scan container images and manifest for known vulnerabilities. It finds issues in both your OS packages and application dependencies so you can catch security flaws before they hit production. Unify observability with a single pane of glass. You can't fix what you can see, and right now you're most likely flying blind across dozens of AWS accounts. The DevOps engineers that are successful with Kubernetes solve this by wiring every cluster into one centralized observability stack. You can use Prometheus to scrape metrics from all of your clusters and workloads, and then you can feed these metrics directly into a single Grafana instance. This gives you one pane of glass to monitor the health, performance, and capacity of the entire fleet, making it easy to build the shiny dashboards that keep everybody happy. Lens Kubernetes IDE and Lens Prism help you gain control of your clusters. Managing clusters from the command line simply doesn't scale. A tool like Lens acts as an IDE for Kubernetes, giving you a powerful UI to manage all your clusters from a single place. The new one-click AWS integration makes connecting to all your EKS clusters effortless, without needing to wrestle with any local CLI configurations. For next-level management, Lens Prism adds a context-aware AI assistant right inside the IDE. You can ask it plain English questions about your live clusters like why is this pod failing or show me resource usage, and it will translate them into real diagnostics and actionable answers. Running EKS at scale doesn't have to be a waking nightmare. Standardize with IaC and GitOps, scale smartly with Karpenter, enforce policies automatically, lock down security with IRSA and Trivy, see everything in one place with Prometheus and Grafana, and leverage Lens Kubernetes IDE to make all of these processes easier. Do that and you will slide from reactive firefighting into proactive boarding operations, which, let's face it, this is the dream. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified when new videos come up. I'm Flavio, see you the next time.